Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Huts F1 Gaming League. I am your host, Still Guns. We're here for round 5 of season 4 of this league on the F122 game. Currently, the leading. I've messed things up already. Oh well, these things happen. Currently, leading the way in the championship is TomTom Fifi. We've got the countdown going on in the background. That's the qualifying about to start. TomTom Fifi leads the way with 101 points. He's taken 3 victories from the 4 rounds so far. Closest championship challenger is Pookie, who has not had a particularly great run in the last 2 races. And the team standings, Mercedes leading the way with 104. 3 of those points, only 3 points to the teammate of TomTom. So at the minute, it's a one-man show from TomTom at Mercedes. Meow! My stream appears to be several minutes behind, which is irritating. Ain't even gonna work. Hello? I may have some technical difficulties on my phone here. Come on. I need to see things up to date. Is that even working? Is that even the right button? Hang on. Indeed it is. The stream just appears to be behind. I'm not sure why. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna restart the Twitch app on my phone so I can look at the chat, because since I'm not logged on to the Huts Twitch channel with the streaming software, I can't look at the chat otherwise, so got to make do with some things. Oh, and Controller immediately decides, I'm gonna disconnect. Yes, I know. And again, because it's quite a bit of a tangle of wires down there. So, let's bring up all the usual stuff, the track map, the lap data. The first man out on track, it looks like it was one of the Alpines, quite possibly Gruffle. No, it was not, it was his teammate, Surty. Yeah, for whatever reason, the stream on the phone is just quite a ways back. I'm just gonna... No, it's definitely much closer on my backup edge stream, or whatever you want to call it. It's just a minute or 2 behind on the phone for literally no good reason. So, that's irritating. Anyway, Surty, first man out on track. He's the first man to start a flying lap here in the Alpine. Number 70, if I recall correctly, that was the number Lucas Weber used in F1 2019. He wasn't around for very long, though, Lucas. They did make a sort of reappearance as someone taking a very strange line. That would have been Reese and the Haas making way for 30. Into turns 9 and 10 now of this Bahrain, Sakhir International Circuit is what I think the official name is, but everyone just calls it Bahrain because, well, generalization and whatnot. Turn 11 and 12 with the evil inner curb even. Ooh, purple. Well, of course, that's to be expected. Then onto the final straight, sort of. final full straight of the lap at least. And then turn 14 and the non-existent turn 15, it's more of a kink. And 128.801 is the benchmark. Behind him is Bengal, and the Williams doesn't manage to best that. 2/10 back. Then it's a Haas, that's Reese starting his lap, and then we've got, is that Sork? Yes, it is Sork, and 129.2. Not quite the heights of his previous session in China. 129.4 for Daniel. Then we have, that's going to be Groffel in the Alpine, dead last at the minute. 129.5. Then Big Six does one better, or rather one worse. 129.6. Someone else has just gone quicker, that's Quack in the Mercedes. Got a lot of work to do if he wants to try and match his teammate. Then we've got both of the AlphaTauris. Biscuit is the slower of the two, with a 130.269, and Fusion, who we're riding with here, 129.454. Dabber in the Aston Martin, currently the slowest of the 11 times on the board so far. Everyone else on an out lap except for Reese in the Haas, who we saw taking a very strange line earlier. Crosses the DRS line and across the line, 129.7. Not bad. Could be better though. Got a lot of time to find. We've got Hardy on an out lap. We've got Goshan, who's just started his flying lap here. Goshan looking to bounce back. He's not had a particularly good start to the season here. He's our reigning champion from Season 3. And that was in the Alpine, but this Ferrari seems to just be completely against him. Now, I need to note we are using equal cars, but despite having equal cars, they're always going to be slightly different because of, well, mainly the difference in the length of wheelbase, the space, the distance between the two pairs of tyres. So I think the Ferrari is a little bit longer than the Alpine, which is possibly why it feels so much different, and why Goshan just isn't able to make it work quite so well. So performance should, on paper, be the same, but in practice it isn't. Still, he has gone purple through the second sector into the final corner now, and foot flat to the floor as he approaches the finishing line, and 128.899. Oh, and then immediately Hardy goes 2/10 quicker, so Goshan could have got pole. He didn't quite have the best Sector 1, or maybe Sector 3. But then it didn't mean anything in the end, because Hardy in the Alpine has got provisional pole, but TomTom, getting an unintentional slipstream, blitzes that time from Hardy by another about 3/10, give or take. In fact, we have a good way to check. By leader, 0.283. Oh, indeed, it was a bit of take. Is there anyone else on a flying lap? Shankstar has just begun his. Meanwhile, I'm going to see if I can try and get my Twitch app to work properly and give me the live stream rather than the stream from a minute ago. Jordan has just begun his flying lap as well. force stop the app. Go back into turns 9 and 10. I wasn't paying attention to his sector 1 time. I will keep an eye on his sector 2 time. Oh, it's the ads that might be messing with me, possibly. Sector 2, 107.285. Apparently it's purple. Yeah, I think in races, when you see purple, then that is definitely the fastest. But in qualifying, it's only a personal purple. Yeah, we're back in the second DRS straight. 129.3 for Shankstars, so it's not a bad lap actually. But on my phone, it's now he's going through turn 12, so I really would prefer it to be live. It's really irritating. I think I'm just gonna have to live with it. Damn you ads! Jordan, meanwhile, went P3 whilst I was distracted, so that's not bad. Pressing all the wrong buttons will bring back the lap times. 128.7. Whoa! A 100th in it between Jordan and Daniel, who is, I believe, on an out lap. Unfortunately, there's no way to see how many laps someone has done. Yeah, he's just finished a lap, I think. Possibly. It's hard to tell who's who, really. 30, ooh, that looks quite quick. 3.5 tenths up through sector to 2. Oh, that's not a bad lap. Goes P2 in the Alpine. We've got an AlphaTauri behind. Oh, that's a Biscuit getting a bit out of shape. Yeah, validated that lap. It was just an out lap, though, I think. Isti, 106.6 through sector 2, looking like it's a good time. The run down to turns 14 and 15. Sork has just gone up to P3. I missed the chance to say he's soared to P3. Or maybe he hasn't changed. Oh, there we go. The fight for P1 for pole position is starting to hot up a bit now. Now there's only, I think that's 8 thousandths in it. Yes, 8 thousandths in it at the minute. And Tom coming out to defend his current provisional pole. He's been rather imperious so far this season, with only Pookie taking a single victory. And Pookie, where is Pookie? He is on an out lap, not an out lap, a flying lap, but it's not looking as good as some of the others. It's only a 107.0 through the final corner and onto the main straight. DRS wide open as we cross the line, and it's only P8, 128.888. Crazy eights for Pookie. That's quite the yeah, quite the lap time there. P8 with 128.888. All you need now is a CSX locomotive barreling down the railway without a driver at the controls. Hence the crazy eights. Who else is on a flying lap here? Fusion is not. I don't believe so, anyway. Trying to find someone who is actually going for it. TomTom is about to start going for it. Let's ride with our championship leader then. DRS open as he crosses the line to start his second flying lap of the session. He may well get another opportunity later on, as there's still 4 minutes left, but this is more than likely going to be his final lap of the session. DRS opens again as we head towards the first sector split, which is just after turn 4 here. Keeps it on the track, a little bit out of shape, as we get a 28.3. He's 2.5 tenths up on his previous best, looking like a mighty tidy lap, other than that slight out of shapeness. Into turns 9 and 10, careful not to lock up. He does it quite nicely, and the DRS cherry is bitten once again. Down towards turn 11 now, hard on the brakes for a brief moment before we then climb up the hill of turn 11 into turn 12. Make sure not to touch that curb on the inside corner. Goes purple, is 3 tenths up through sector 2, and this is looking like this could end up being a sub 128. Gonna be close though, as he's onto the final straight once again. Opens the DRS across the line. It is indeed a 127, first man to do so. He improved by just shy of 5 tenths of a second. That's a full half a second quicker. He's just blown the competition out of the water. That is going to be a tall order for anyone to respond with. And there's 2.5 minutes left. Everyone is coming out now. You can see all the crews leaving the garages, cars pulling out. Well, these cars getting ready to pull out. And yeah, we're starting to see a bit more activity. There's a McLaren, a Red Bull. If I close that, we've got Williams further down, and the other McLaren. Both of the Red Bulls are coming out. We've got an Aston Martin, and there's something blue. Oh, there we go. It wasn't blue, it was black. It was the Alfa Romeo. Oh, and that looks like Pookie. No, it's Goshan. My mistake. Everyone coming out now. Oh, and it looks like Shankstar. I think he's just started a lap. He's going to have a bit of traffic. And it's really all about the timing during qualifying, especially as this is short qualifying. This is essentially a single qualifying session, the length of a Q1 session. And TomTom is not going to get another lap time in, so that 127.8 is the benchmark. It's for everyone else to try and catch up to, but at the minute there's a lot of traffic going through sector 2. And our first challenger is going to be Pookie. He's moved down to P9 now, so Crazy 8's no longer, aside from the time. And this Ferrari starts his final flying lap of the session. Can Pookie match TomTom, beat TomTom, or at least get onto the front row? He needs to do a hell of a lot better. We shall ride with Pookie here, see how he does, and see where he improves, if anywhere. Through turn 4. Nicely does it. And he does improve through sector 1. He's 1.5 tenths quicker through turn 8. And then up the brief incline. Fusion, Biscuit and Jabba have missed out on improving their times. Pookie managing to go through 9 and 10 quite nicely. There's been looks like there's been a massive crash at turn 4. Indeed, there has been quite the kerfuffle. Groffle has been involved in that. There's a McLaren as well. That's Jordan. And Surtees was involved as well. I'm not sure what on earth happened there. But that's several drivers. Their session is over. Pookie has improved by 4.5 tenths through Sector 2. Meanwhile, and across the line, he's not going to be able to get into the 127s, but it is P4 at the minute. Sork will not improve. Goshan, I'm not sure where he will come. He's actually down, despite going purple, so there's clearly some shenanigans going on. Hardy will cross the line next. He cannot improve. It looks like that great big kerfuffle at turn 4 has ruined the laps of a lot of people, Big Six included. A very disappointing 17th place. And I think that's everyone. Yep. That's everyone who could really fight for pole for any position, really. Could have been quite exciting, but all the excitement happened at turn 4 and everyone got tripped up by that. By the looks of things, with only really 1 or 2 drivers able to improve. So it's TomTom who takes pole position. Oh, Gruffle picks up a 5-place grid penalty for blocking? For blocking his teammate, who has already finished. I don't know. So, TomTom P1, Isti P2, Surtees P3, Pookie P4, Sork will be P5, Bubbly P6, Goshan still not getting to grips with that Ferrari. P7 for car number 7, Hardy P8, Jordan P9, and Daniel 99 manages to finish in P10. Either of those drivers managing to improve. Is it just me, or is there no one talking in the chat? Let me just check. No, we have 5 viewers, no one's talking though. Such is life, I guess. Right, 20 seconds to go. Gruffle is going to end up starting in 20th. For seemingly no fault of his own. Just the game being stupid, I guess. But I didn't see that, so I can't really judge exactly what happened. Yeah. I was slightly afraid that maybe I had accidentally not turned on my microphone, but no, I definitely have. One other thing to check. There we go. 22 seconds until we start the formation lap. Meanwhile, we're just left staring at the pit lane here. Waiting. Right, so leave the telemetry closed for now. We'll open up the tyre details. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drivers will start on the hard tyres. Those drivers are Pookie, Sork, Bengal, Laryl Fusion, Sherlock, Big Six and Biscuit. Everyone else is going to start on the mediums. Yeah, starting on the hards and switching to mediums later, this sounds like a Pookie strategy. I've been watching Pookie race for a couple of years now. He was part of another league that is sadly shut down now. But yeah, this was his strategy there too. He would try and use the alternate strategy whenever he could. he loves that alternate strategy. I guess he'd try and marry it if he could. But it doesn't always work out. Especially with the 2022 regs. Of course, these are very similar. Going to be very similar to the 2023 regs, so I wonder how things will change for 2023. We haven't seen a proper 2023 car yet. Unlike what Red Bull would have you believe. Ooh, TomTom. Taking quite the... I'm not sure what the word I was going for there was, but yeah, parking up very early indeed. It's going to be waiting a while, but I don't know if the tyres will cool down at all. Well, we're going to get this as a starting camera angle. It could, at least, it's quite similar to what we got in the real-life 2022 Grand Prix, as we have 5 red lights on, it's lights out and away we go, and it looks like TomTom has actually had a fairly poor start. There's side-by-side contact between, I think it was a Williams and Pookie. Indeed, no, it wasn't a Williams, it was an Alpine, and there's contact! I think TomTom has gone around, that's Isti as well. A 5-second penalty for Isti there. I don't know what happened, but Pookie finds himself in the lead. And we've seen him in the lead a couple of times already this season, and he's bottled it, so it's a good idea to not bottle it. Meanwhile, we've got Bengal right at the back of the field, which he was either a bystander in that incident, or he was possibly the cause of it. I'm not sure, but he's certainly lost out. We will bring the position changes. He's lost 9 positions, so he probably wasn't a part of that incident. Hardy is up 6 positions. He's in P2 now, behind Pookie. We could see a surprise Alfa Romeo victory here, but we've got to be wary that this is only the beginning of the race. TomTom may have lost out right now, but there's 29 laps to go. I guess 28 once the cars finish this lap. There's still plenty of time for TomTom to get back into the lead, and that is exactly what he's trying to do right now as he breezes past Sorg. The Williams practically standing still compared to the Mercedes. I wonder if he's running with a bit less downforce. We shall open up the telemetry now. 75% battery on the Mercedes, and relatively similar for other people, as Daniel is the first man to pit, possibly to fix a broken front wing. Not entirely sure. I don't think so. Just a tyre change. Surtees hounding Hardy, and he's actually managed to get a much better turn 10 there. Hardy went wide, but it's currently going side by side. He'll have the inside for turn 11, and he's actually slowing down. Not the best angle. And he lets the Alfa Romeo past, but now TomTom is hounding Surtees here. He's... Pookie already a second ahead of Hardy, but TomTom already making up ground that he lost. Isti, though, not having the same luck. He's bogged down in P7 and not able to make the same moves. Bubbly has set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. He's in the Red Bull just behind Sork there. As DRS has been enabled, Bubbly has actually used up a lot of his energy trying to get past Sork. And it's not going to help him out too much in the long run. It's very difficult to gain your energy back on this game, and TomTom didn't look like he had a particularly good turn 6 there. This is one of the few tracks where I know which corners are which. So I can pick out which one is turn 6. It's quite strange. Hardy has managed to get back within a second of Pookie. Maybe those hard tyres not doing so well for the Ferrari, who's lost a few tenths already. We've got a spin. That's Bubbly. Bubbly has had a spin or something. I don't think it was a full-on spin. He'd be at the back of the field, but suddenly he's lost ground, lost all that time, down 6 positions. Jabber, meanwhile, has had an amazing start. He was down in P19. He's now P9. Hardy has put in the lap of his life to catch up to Pookie. He's got the fastest lap of the race so far. I need to see the fastest laps here. And Pookie has only managed to go a 132.7 compared to Hardy's 132.5. So Hardy absolutely flying here. So is Surty. Only 3 tenths slower on his fastest lap. And then TomTom hasn't managed to crack the 132.5s yet. We've got another yellow flag. Oh no, there's been a collision. And that's Jabber and... oh, curse of the commentator. Jabber was up to P9 and now he's back into P18. Oh dear. Maybe I should have ignored Jabber like I usually do. Maybe he would have scored points. Oh dear. So Hardy is keeping Pookie honest here. But these top 4 just out, well, almost within a second here. 1.1 seconds separating positions 1 and 4. But it looks like Pookie is about to lose the lead to Hardy, and indeed he is with the aid of the DRS. Flies past, but now could we get a Verstappen-Leclerc situation here, because guess who has the DRS now? A Ferrari behind, well, it's not a Red Bull, but it's still got 2 words in its name, Alfa Romeo. However, not close enough. Seems the hard tyres not doing the Ferrari any favours right now. And Surty certainly keeping close as well. In fact, quite possibly catching. Isti has managed to get back to P5 after Bubbly spun, and he's ahead of Sork. We've got another yellow flag. That's Goshan. Goshan has had a wobble or something on the exit of turn 7, turn 8 even. Oh, and there's a car going round. That's Reese facing the wrong way at turn 9 and 10. In fact, just turn 10 finds himself fighting with Jabber now. That is quite disastrous luck. Sork now being harassed by Jordan, the other McLaren here. He's the filling in a McLaren sandwich. Or I guess the McLarens are the bread in the Williams sandwich. Hardy goes even faster 132.0. This man is flying. While TomTom has just got past Surtees as Jordan goes past Sork. Surtees, though, fighting back. He's used up all of his energy doing so, but all he has is the DRS now. And TomTom has plenty of energy. Surtees, he held him up as long as he could, but he used up all of his energy, and frankly, he just didn't have an answer for TomTom's pace, who is now catching Pookie. TomTom can still get into the lead here, but that is his nearest championship rival in front. Someone who is not going to want to let him past, and this, oh, that's getting bloody close. And gets a wobble on the exit of turn 10 for his trouble as well. But it's not the end of the world just yet. And he's able to make up the time again. We're still within a second. Hasn't lost a huge amount of time to the Ferrari. Now Pookie is going to get the DRS down the main straight, but he's being let down by his hard tyres at the minute. And he will go on a bit longer than the other drivers. And Pookie actually flying under the DRS. 200 compared to... maybe he had a bit better acceleration. Of course, it could have just been the perspective. But Pookie will really need to get past that Alfa Romeo, and he's just not able to do so. We're 7 laps in to this 29-lap race. It's a 50% race, and the real race would be, I think, 58 laps? Maybe 57? I don't remember. But yes, 29. Still a fair way to go. And there are plenty of battles still going on down the field. We've got Bubbly. He's into P8. He's got Goshan for company just behind him. And he's got 3.2 seconds to Sork in front. Oh, we've got a yellow flag in turn 10 again. And that's Jabber. P19 is back where he started. And Pookie under real threat from TomTom here now. He's using his energy on the exit of turn 14. He's using as much of it down the straight as he dares. And it's enough to keep TomTom behind. And maybe enough to allow him to overtake the Alfa Romeo. Not just yet. Hardy is defending. In fact, I think he may well be using a lot of his energy. He is indeed using a lot of his energy. Too much of it. He doesn't have any energy left. But he's able to hold on to P1 for another few corners at the least. But with 10% battery, his pace on the straights is going to be suffering. Whilst Pookie has 20% and TomTom has 40%. And you can see TomTom trying to find every way he can past Pookie here. Being rather strategic about his energy usage. He's not using it when he doesn't need to. We've had a spin. That's Groffle. At turn 8, he's got going again. I think he maybe lost 1 or 2 positions, but he's still up 4 positions after starting dead last, thanks to a penalty. And Surtees is losing touch to the fight for the lead. And this is turning into a 3-horse race now. Pookie once again using his energy, but he's been doing more defending on this lap than really trying to keep up with Hardy here. And TomTom just not using a huge amount of his energy. He's waiting for the 2 drivers in front to use up all of theirs so he can use his. know with oh no, Tom! Oh, that's a big tank slapper for the Mercedes. I was about to switch away to someone else. Was lucky to not go around. It's quite the save from TomTom there. As what I was going to say, there's plenty of other battles down the field that I could be showing, but I mean, we've got the battle for the lead, and I don't know. I don't want to do what the F1 broadcasts do and ignore the main fight so that drivers moving up the field. And I feel like maybe I'm kind of focusing too much on one battle, which doesn't seem to be going anywhere. TomTom, though, has 50% battery. Pookie only 30%. He uses a few percentage points. Hardy still less than 10%. But it's enough to stay ahead of the two behind. Getting a bit of a wobble on the exit of turn 3. Or was it 2? One of the two. And it looks like we're possibly getting some lag issues, because I could swear that Alfa Romeo was going sort of diagonally for a second, crabbing along the road. So Shankstar, meanwhile, is keeping Goshan honest. Now Goshan, as I've mentioned already, our reigning champion, but struggling this season, seemingly due to the oddities of the Ferrari car model. The Ferrari at work seems to be working so well for Pookie, but what works well for someone else is clearly the arch nemesis of our reigning champion. Sangstar, though, not having the greatest sector 2 there, losing some time to Goshan. And now we move up to the fight, the fight at the front again, to see if TomTom is making any inroads. Nothing is happening. Currently a bit of a status quo at the front of the field. Goshan picks up a penalty. He's the first man to pit, other than Daniel. Quack appears to have pit as well. He has. Yes, so he's gone on to medium tyres, and he's right behind the Alfa Romeo. We'll see what he can do on those brand new medium tyres. He's just past Goshan. So Goshan has that 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And he then immediately spins on his cold, hard tyres. So it's just going from bad to worse for Goshan here. Really can't fathom why he's having so many difficulties. I mean, yeah, the cars are different. Ever so slightly. I don't know. Have I just contradicted myself? Possibly. Bubbly is, meanwhile, is looking like he's gonna try and make the move on Sork again. He's close enough, but he doesn't have any energy left. He's below 10%. We've got the standings in the way. Meanwhile, TomTom getting closer and closer to Pookie. I think Pookie has dipped below 10%, and that is where TomTom is making his opportunity to strike. Couldn't quite do it through turn 4, though. Okay, Pookie didn't go into the 10% region, but seems TomTom has finally got fed up of staring at that Vallis sponsor on the back of the Ferrari. I can't blame him. It's a very shady company. I wouldn't want to be staring at their logo for too long either. But he's using his energy reserves, closing the gap, and he's going to try and go around the outside. I think he wants to make the move on Pookie before he pits. But at the minute, not able to make the move, but he's got plenty of energy. Pookie knows he's under threat, and he'll probably use a bit more of his energy. Oh no, we've had a collision, we've had a crash. Shankstar has crashed at turn 10, and we've got a safety car, and that is going to turn things on their heads. Turn this race on its head even. Jordan pits, Bubbly pits, Sork pits. Everyone's starting to pit here now. And everyone, Hardy, Pookie, TomTom, Certin, Isti, were not able to make the pit stop. Could that hurt them? Maybe, maybe not. But we shall see. We shall see indeed. As Reese is putting on a brand new front wing. Ooh, slow stop for Jabber. Goshan is going to make a bit of ground. Jumps 3 places. Lateral Fusion, Reese and Jabber. So Jordan 31 seconds behind Isti. Yeah, given that safety car, the pitting under safety car only takes 17 seconds, and Jordan has to keep to a delta. Yeah, I don't think the top 5 are gonna lose any time. So here they come into the pit lane. Pookie pitting as well. Probably for medium tyres, so that's going to give him a bit of an advantage at first. And Isti serving his 5-second penalty from the start of the race. And actually, he's changing his front wing. This could affect where he is. Yeah, I think he's going to lose out here to Jordan, Bubbly, and Sork. We shall watch. Indeed, he has lost out to these 3 here. So it's been a bad pit stop for Isti. That's not gone very well at all. And it's one of those penalties that you have to serve in the pit lane. Oh dear. So, advantage Pookie, if you ask me. He's on the medium tyres, so they're going to be a bit grippier. And he's already got a fully charged battery now. Can he make the grip work? Well, it's going to be a little while. I think at least another lap until we get the safety car coming in. As we wait for Jabber to catch up to the back of the field. Outlets coming in now. Jabber caught up before the safety car could get to its point of no return, I guess. So, safety car is in. Oh no, there's penalties all through the field. That is absolute disaster. Oh, and that's getting pretty close from Hardy as well. Weaving potentially could spin himself out on Pookie, who could get the penalty himself. Fortunately, nothing's gone wrong at the top end of the field, but we've already got people pitting. What a disaster! And look at that, that's Bubbly trying to make his way past Jordan. He's got the inside line for turn 1, and indeed he has got past Jordan, compromised through turn 2, and now he's got Sork for company, who appears to be... No, it's not Nicholas Latifi. He's using Romain Grosjean's old number 8. Isti, being adventurous, putting on the soft tyres. And Pookie did get past Hardy. So now Pookie has to eke out every inch of grip he can from these medium tyres to gain a lasting advantage on the drivers behind, and he's already increased that gap to a second, give or take. It's fluctuating a little bit, but the hard tyres not going to be doing quite so well through the corners. That gap, 1.1 seconds now, and TomTom gonna have to have his work cut out for him as Hardy gets a big tank slapper on the exit of turn 13. I'm not sure if it was really actually there though. Could it just have been the game being strange? Surtees has been brought back into the fight now, as Sork and Jordan swapping places. We've got Quack in the mix as well. Groffle in the points. I think he got 1 point this season already, possibly. And look at this! 3 wide through turn 1. Didn't last. Groffle, though, fighting for every point he can. And fortunately, he's losing P10 to Goshan here. Going wide through turn 1. Oh, and going side by side with Big Six. Trying to hold on. Can he do it? And he is able to hold on to P11 just about. So that's some pretty good racing for someone I've mocked a lot, if I'm honest. And how else are things shaping up? Surtees keeping TomTom honest, who's keeping Hardy honest. The gap has already grown to almost 1.8 seconds in front. But that gap can still come down. 13 laps remaining. We've got a yellow flag. That is not Biscuit, is Fusion, who's lost his front wing at turn 12. Pookie, fastest man on track, 1:31.7. Where is Groffle? He's not quite as fast in a straight line. Indeed. He's clearly someone who prefers a bit of handling, as Fusion has picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh dear. Goshan trying to make his way through the points, the positions, as Jordan loses a position to Quack. Isti, fastest man on track with the soft tyres, 1:30.776. And Fusion is not being lapped, sorry. I saw McLaren and for some reason thought it was leading. But no, he is not leading. The gap in front from the leading car, 2 seconds. 2.1 now. Pookie absolutely flying. Someone else who possibly would be flying if he didn't have a massive, great 3-meter wide Alfa Romeo in front would, well, it's TomTom, of course.
Something's going wrong. There we go.
So TomTom actually saving his energy. Still, this is quite the odd strategy. Tactics, rather. But it seems to be making a lot of sense, actually. Because he is fast enough through the corners, even behind Hardy, that he probably doesn't even need to use his energy much. He's possibly one of the best drivers we have around here. In fact, he is one of the best. He's frequently starting high up. And I mean, I counted Goshan as the best because he seemed to be incapable of losing. Or at least, I don't know. Goshan just hasn't been having the same luck that TomTom has. Certainly hasn't been the same kind of game for him as it has been for TomTom. I remember watching Goshan a few times back on F1 2021, and he was damn quick then. And that was when Pookie picked up the championship himself. But that was only because Goshan started so late into the season, and TomTom is making his move down the main straight, using his energy, flies past the Alfa Romeo, and now he can start chasing after that Ferrari in front. 10, 11 laps to go. 2.2 seconds to make up. He can certainly make up that time. But Pookie has been preparing. He's got a fair amount of energy himself. Very similar amount to TomTom, who I think has just put in a purple first sector. I know it shows purple, it always confuses me. The gap was 2.2, it's already down to 1.986. It's fluctuating a little, it always will. We'll watch his sector 2 times as he goes into turn 11. Mercedes, is he flying along? Sector 2 time completed 0.8 quicker. A lot of that will be due to the massive DRS toe he got down the main straight. Into the final corner now. DRS does not open, obviously. I don't know why I thought it would. 0.8 quicker than his previous best, but it is not the fastest lap. That still belongs to Isti, who has gone 0.4 quicker, but that was because he was on the hard tyre. Not hard tyres, soft tyres, sorry. Isti did that lap on the soft tyres. Kind of shows you the difference in pace, actually, between the three compounds. We've got Isti with the fastest lap overall. Daniel has actually gone... Nope, sorry, misread that. I saw 7.82. He's just improved to a 7.59, but it's a 1.31. So the fastest man on the mediums... I was about to say Pookie, but he's actually gone slower than TomTom has on the hards. But then again, Pookie didn't have the DRS assistance. Fastest man on the mediums. Technically big 6. The gap has closed slightly. 1.9 now. And Pookie's just gotta be feeling the pressure. He can feel the weight of this silver arrow bearing down on him. He's gonna be looking at his leaderboard up in the corner of his screen and he's gonna see that margin shrinking lap by lap. He's got to hold on for 8 more laps. Can he do it? Well, TomTom is down to 33% of his battery. Pookie used up a little bit more. Very similar battery usage, I think, because Pookie did have a bit less to begin with. And this, the ebb and flow of the race. These two gonna be fighting for every inch they can, but the gap still shrinking. 1.6 now. TomTom just able to do things with this car that Pookie seems to be unable to. The gap was reading 1.5, it is reading 1.5. Has Pookie taken too much life out of his mediums too soon? TomTom's still got a lot of work to do. It's one thing to catch the car in front, it's another to pass it. But of course, all he has to do is wait for a DRS zone. But he's used up a lot of his energy catching Pookie here. And we could see things equalize again. Pookie's still got a little bit less battery, 21% through turn 4. In fact, they both have more or less identical battery levels now. Meanwhile, Surtees is catching Hardy. Also very similar battery levels. And Surtees could find himself on the podium here. Oh, there's a big tank slapper for Hardy again. We've seen that before. There's a yellow flag at turn 2. That's Isti, I think, having a spin or something. He's got going again. But Surtees looking like he's going to pass the Alfa Romeo here for P3, which would be one hell of a showing. He started P3, so to finish where he started would be one hell of an achievement for Surtees, who disappeared sometime the last season. With the DRS, a bit of energy usage, Surtees could well get past on this lap. He's using his energy. Both of them have very little energy left. He gets the DRS, and Surtees is just about passing the Alfa Romeo, but then the Alfa Romeo is going to get the DRS down to turn 4. We could be seeing a Charles Leclerc situation here. Watch that, Alfa. But he's not able to keep pace with Surtees. As Fusion gets a 3-second time penalty. That's the first 3-second penalty we've seen today. That's quite strange. We've had 2 races in a row where we haven't seen very many 3-second penalties from corner cutting. It's quite some achievement there. The battle between Surtees and Hardy is not over yet. Hardy gets the DRS down to turn 11. Oh! Something has gone wrong for TomTom. I'm going to be able to see that. He was at 1.7 seconds, but suddenly the gap has grown to 4.2. I wish I was watching. The most I will be able to get is by looking at the heavily delayed stream on my phone. I'm going to see exactly what happened. It looked like it happened through turn 11, but I think this is TomTom. His chances of the race victory are over here. No, I think maybe it was turn 10 actually. I didn't catch exactly what happened. He just seemed to arbitrarily slow down. Am I able to... No, I can't go back. I'm going to have to watch that in post. That is very unfortunate from the pole sitter, because now he has a lot of more works to make up. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is Pookie's victory in the bag. Which would be one hell of a reward for the absolute trash that he's gone through in the past couple of races. But it's not over yet. Never say never. There's still 5 laps to go. Oh, I guess technically 4 soon. And the gap has fallen by 4-5 tenths. As Biscuit has crashed now. At turn 4. And we get a safety car! So it's like I said. Never say never. And Pookie is going to pit. So is TomTom. So, yep, things are definitely not over yet. Soft tyres. Soft tyres going on for pretty much everyone, I would imagine. Except for Hardy, who's putting on mediums. Oh dear, that might not go well. Oh, and it's a double stack for the Williams. That's a bit of a disaster for Bengal. Got all kinds of weird things going on. Isti had just pit for medium tyres too. Oh no. You gotta feel bad for Isti. Started P2 if I recall correctly. Yes. Oh no. He pit at the worst possible time. What a disaster. So now he has to try and make up time through the pit stops, and on the restart he will at least get past Sherlock here for P16, but that's a really unfortunate turn of circumstance for our McLaren driver here. But quite a fortunate one for TomTom, who was probably feeling a bit down after whatever happened at turn 10. But now here he is. And if he can get past Pookie on the restart, I suspect he may be sending gifts to Biscuit for crashing. In much the same way that I reckon Max Verstappen did with Nicholas Latifi. But we're going to be waiting a little while longer because we've got cars still coming through turn 10. We may not get any DRS running here. 26, 27, 28, 29. It depends, really. Really depends. I think we will get DRS running, actually. Because we're just starting lap 26. 28, 29. So we will get a single lap of DRS running. But it's only going to be the DRS zone from turn 3 to turn 4. And the DRS zone from turn 10 to 11. We won't get the main DRS zone on the main straight between turns 14, 15, and 1. Level Fusion is the man at the back of the field, back of the pack. Got to catch up. He's 8.3 seconds behind, but of course that gap rapidly closing. And with his rejoining to the end of this safety car train, racing will get back underway on lap 27. Almost certainly. So now the pressure is really on. I've just noticed who's in P4. Oh my god. What? Oh, okay, that's not gonna... Yeah, that's never gonna last. 13 lap old hard tyres. Jabber, it's very ambitious, But I just can't help but think that you're not gonna... You're gonna sink like a stone, mate. Well, safety car in this lap. It's up to Pookie to control the field. And now it's time to try and calm one's nerves. Try not to bump into the car in front. As we saw with the previous safety car restart. Pressure is on for Pookie to try and keep Tom Tom behind. And for Tom Tom to try and get past Pookie, who is waiting very long, and Fusion has picked up a penalty for bumping into Sherlock. And Pookie waiting until the last possible moment and he guns it. But Tom Tom was waiting for it, using all the energy down the main straight. He's picking up a lot of marbles on his fresh, soft tyres. We shall watch these two here. We shall close off the telemetry. And then also get rid of the tyres, as there's been a spin for someone. I think it was Daniel. Maybe it wasn't a spin. Yes, there has been a spin. It's Quack. Quack has crashed. Sork has lost out. He's dead last now. That is absolute calamity for Sork, who was doing so well. And Quack, who could have got some points. And now it's still going to be one-man band from Tom Tom here. This is mighty intense. Tom Tom getting close to Pookie, but is it gonna be close enough? He's using up so much of his energy trying to stay with Pookie, and the gap is closing bit by bit, but Pookie fighting for every inch of track. Oh, and Tom Tom going a bit wide at turn 13. That's gonna hurt him a little bit, but not by much in the long run. Using up his energy, he has the slipstream, and this could be the move coming here on this coming lap at turn 1 of lap 28, but the gap is actually growing. Pookie seems to have the slightly faster car in a straight line. It's getting very close between the front wing of the Mercedes and the rear diffuser of the Ferrari. Sork retires. And don't blame him. 3/10 separate Pookie and Tom Tom. This is what it comes down to. This race, this Grand Prix comes down to 3 laps. I don't want to watch, but I have to. Oh no, and Bengal is spun at turn 7, turn 8 even, and Tom Tom even closer to Pookie now. You know what? I am gonna reactivate the telemetry. See the energy that is left. Pookie has slightly more than Tom Tom. They're both going to dump it down these 2 straights here. DRS will not be active until just after turn 3 of this final coming lap. We are on to the final lap now. Pookie sets the fastest lap, 1:30.533. But what can Tom Tom do as we go into turn 1? My heart is really going. Oh my god. DRS opens, but Tom Tom has not had the greatest first few turns there, and Bengal is retired now. He's gone into the pits lane. Double retirement for the Williams pairing. Tom Tom just absolutely throwing this Mercedes around, doing everything he can, but it might be hurting him a little bit. He was about 4/10 behind Pookie. Now he's 5/10 behind. Pookie has a bit more energy to spare. And this is where Pookie's going to use it. And TomTom is now below 10%. And he's going to suffer on the straights. There's been a spin for Sherlock at turn 8. And he retires on track. It's not going to matter. There won't be a safety car. Pookie is going to use the last of his energy down this final straight. TomTom's using everything he can, but he has nothing left. Pookie is going to round the final corner. Use up the last of his energy. It's going to be a hard-fought victory for Pookie. The first I have seen from him for quite some time. Congratulations, Pookie and TomTom, for one hell of a finale. That was tense. Wow. And congratulations to Surty too on his first podium with the league in a while, I think. If ever. I don't remember. But certainly if it's not his return to the podium, it's his first podium, which is one hell of an achievement. And commiserations to Hardy. He fought so hard. Oh no. Please. There we go. Right. So, Groffle got driver of the day. And unfortunately, he didn't get into the points, which is really unfortunate. But Jabber, his strategy of holding on to 13-lap-old hard tyres, it worked out to get him P8 in the end. Why did Groffle get driver of the day when Jabber started one position better in 19th, but finished in the points? Nah, Jabber's my driver of the day. Screw what the game says. So, brief rundown of the top 10. Pookie wins, and he gets the fastest lap as well. 1:30.0, incredible run. TomTom gets P2, Surty P3, Hardy P4, Bubbly P5, Jordan P6, Goshan P7, Jabber P8, Isti P9, manages to get back to the points, and Reese gets into P10, which I think might be his first points of the season. And Goshan actually managed to finish where he started, so it could have been a lot worse. There we go then. There we go indeed. Whew. So. Meow. Let's see. Yeah, well, that's the standings. We'll just look at the standings for now. How things were. I'm not gonna calculate how it was meant to go with the points. That's not my job. But yeah, Pookie wins. He closes the gap by 8 points, I think. But still a long road ahead of him if he wants to continue his championship his title challenge. Yeah, he was the Season 2 champion, I think. I don't remember. But certainly he was champion before Goshan. So yeah, that does speak to me. Season 2 champion. Right. Time for a breather. Don't really have anything to talk about now. Other than, we'll find when the next race is. Next week, it is the Singapore Grand Prix, so tune in at the same time, 7 p.m. on the 12th of February for round 6 of season 4 of Huts F1 Gaming League. Until then, have a good one, folks, and good night.